Good evening and welcome to my live stream. Today is April the 1st and happy April Fool's Day. It is 10:17 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I am here to tell you some interesting things from today. I think one of the most interesting questions we can ask ourselves today, especially if you are an astute, targeted individual and you can see what's happening in your daily norm, and it's not norm anymore. Maybe the question to ask yourself is what divided people? What is dividing people? Is it education? Is it those who know what's happening versus those who, are not yet brought up to par? I mean, that's really scary because some people could walk around, like, let's say Walmart this evening, and not think a weird ass thing is going on. And others of us can see every gosh darn thing that isn't right. And that's a memo. So you guys can post something in the chat if you dare. Listen, the funny thing is, it's where it's at right now. So there isn't anything you can do to change that right now. So nothing you react to, you have an opinion on, you spark an interest on, you say something about is going to change any of the dynamics. So you're going to just have to move forward knowing what you know and just being you and being all gung ho, no fear, no balls to the walls about it. So I met somebody today, and this person was a little triggering too, because sometimes I think that people are set up. I'm not sure that they're actually legit gang stalkers, if you will, if they have nefarious purposes or if they're sent by Satan or whatever. But this person kind of triggered me because sometimes people will show up and they'll kind of be like, they'll kind of be, how do you say this? Nebby. And they might be in their 20s. And then they'll tell you a story like this. They'll tell you all about your trail that you like to hike on. And this is fucking weird, you guys. Like, how do I all of a sudden meet somebody today who has all these commonalities, yet looks like they're normal, has a police husband, lives in my same area, has a sister who hikes the woods I do. She hikes by herself too. They tell her not to. There was a woman, I guess, who apparently in the same woods that I hike alone committed suicide maybe a year or two ago. I'm going to have to look this up. But we all knew she was mental. She was mental. Right, right. Because, of course, the whole community who jumps into smear campaigns knows that somebody's mental, right? No, this isn't true. This is a 20-some-year-old person versing a 48-year-old astute, astounding, fully equipped woman who knows her shit. No, something isn't right here. This person probably wasn't mental, and they probably didn't commit suicide. I'm going to tell you that right now. I already felt that. I already felt that energy right away. Now, of course, her husband's a cop. Now, let's see. Oh, yeah, the energy in the aisles at Walmart. Let's go back to that. So I'm trying to think about where the energy. Oh, yeah. So I was in the baggie aisle at Walmart tonight. I had to look for foil and certain baggies, and they like to hide them now to see if I can actually find exactly what I'm looking for, the exact quantity, especially since perpetrators steal things little by little. Sometimes they're very subtle. So, less is more, right? Keep less because people will steal more. And so people kept flooding this aisle. It started with one of the workers in the aisle, and you could see that he was studying what I was doing. And then this girl comes in with a blazing red shirt on, and she's on her phone, and you could tell that she was being a perpetrator. She was just nothing else in her life mattered more than to follow me around in the store. and, and these people were like hovering over my shoulders. The energy had gotten so freaking intense, you guys, like that I actually had to call on sometimes I don't have to call on the higher power, but I actually had to call on the higher power because I could feel the energy because I was already a little bit spooked coming into that store, knowing that the devil already operates there. And so when I was in that aisle, I was like, God, please protect me. And that's all I had to say. But I had to ask for protection because my energy is stronger than theirs. But they were trying to live off of my energy. And I was like, you know what? Just let them. Let them have some of the light because they need it to survive. They need it to try to change. They need it as guidance and advice. So, but it was the powerful shifting that happened. It was energetically strong, but like I said, I always ask for protection because something existed in that store today. And there was also I had to stop somewhere else on the way home, and there was a woman who was like kind of promoting the new Chobani. I guess it was more like maybe gut sensitive or something like that. But she had been in other aisles at the same time that I was, and you could just sense that something was very off. And then when she was asking about this, it made her sound like she was from some sort of cult or from a different mindset or a different life. Anyway, it was just weird. Um, I'm not going to talk too much about that. So let's listen to this video from today, earlier. This is me talking about my experiences. If you recently got divorced, you should be a little bit concerned. You might be partaking in the devil's parkour, targeted, institutionalized sexual trafficking program. So before I keep going on this, what I'm doing here is I'm telling you how even if you pay the piper, even if you pay into the dark web or sexual or human trafficking, the perpetrators are smart enough that they can turn it around and they can actually use you too. So they can use you against your ex or against, just their beliefs or against whatever it is that they see about you that they're upset about. So they can actually use both parties against each other. It doesn't matter whether it was like a divorced couple or whatever. They can kind of scheme and scam to harm everybody. This is the problem here, guys. The reason why the world is a hot mess right now is they don't like that people like me see straight through this bullshit. Okay. And then we have to add something so confound as personality disorders into the mix. And that really just fucks stuff up. I mean, it just blows things up. It's like, listen, The world is very, very short. It doesn't matter whether Iran is bombing us, or, Trump makes a bad decision, or Obama, becomes gay, or whatever else happens. Okay. Like, it doesn't matter. Okay. I'm just saying to you, it doesn't matter, because you only live so long, first of all. Okay. You might only live into your 50s or your 60s. If you're a 55-year-old, avoidant male who blows shit up for no reason, whenever the world is in hot, chaotic mess, and you deliberately hurt someone who is non deserving of that, you might have your own karma coming right at your ass, because somebody else might have some vengeance out to you that the other party has no idea about, but you might pay a hefty fine, and you might get it up the ass twice. So I would just be very careful. The system is very bad. This whole program is very, very bad. And it fucks everybody over. I'm just telling you. Whenever they say we're all in this together, I mean, yes and no. So it is what it is. You have to really kind of think about this in terms of, like, hey, if I knew that I was only going to live in a concentration camp for the next so many years, or if I knew that I might only have so many years left, I might want to just live it to the best of my ability with the person that I think that could be my ride or die. I honestly would think in terms like that. I mean, listen, the thing is, the world is crazy, and it all kind of puts the perspective into place and puts us all on the same playing field. Like, we can all kind of unite and agree with and have the same sort of, you know, thoughts and feelings as the next guy, when you really put this into perspective. That's how you have to look at it. All right, let's continue this.
You might even be a buyer. You might even be one of the ones who goes on to the dark web and selects somebody by a number and some photographs. You know, the 666, the mark of the beast. Yeah, that one. Because we are all coded into the system, the end time system of human trafficking. And if you just recently got divorced, you are probably more so at the high end of these stakes, whether or not you are the male or the female. Hate to kid you. But you might be being used to sabotage somebody else's life, to have any sort of... The thing is that both parties, male and female, from this dark web system can be used against one another and for the devil's purpose. See what I'm saying? You have to really look at this carefully and closely. We're all limited in life here. It's a very short life that we live. I mean, I'm going on almost 50. So I understand that pretty much the bulk of my life is over. And I see this program full blown for what it is. I see the people in the stores talking up some sort of special Chobani yogurt. It's even more special than the one that we have on the shelves now, but it's for people with special needs. This person was in several different aisles as me at the same time in a very suspicious manner. Then you've got the guy who shows up with a license plate today that says DNA something, right? Because we all know how we're set up into situations so that the perpetrators can actually steal embryos and fetuses from your home if they use nefarious people who are satanic to impregnate you, blah, 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 blah. Now, I'm not trying to scare anyone, but those of you who are listening who might have gotten yourselves into a relationship dynamic that might have actually worked all the way to the end, whatever the end is. If the end is tomorrow or 20 years down the road, whatever, 100 years down the road, who knows? In God's timing, you might not have known that you might be set up as well. You might even be the payer. You might even be the one on the dark web paying for a one-night stand, quick fix, a 2-month rendezvous. Yet you might be being set up in the program. It is what it is as well. You might want to carefully reconsider. Just step back from it and look at it. All you got to do is walk through Walmart like I did tonight. And geez, I actually thought I would become a chain smoker tonight. I can't even just do this anymore because I can see everything. I see patterns of behavior. I see how gang stalkers operate. I see how they, but God only knows where this is all stemming from. And then we have personality disorders, and it's like, how in the hell do we concentrate on personality disorders when the world has a human trafficking program, a sex trafficking program, a sex trafficking organized? I mean, they show up everywhere. They're at your local Walmart. I mean, they might be people that you work with on a daily basis. God only knows. But you might even be one of the payers into the dark web, find yourself a hooker or human trafficker, and you might be being used because you got divorced or you did something, and you might be being played on your end. This is what I'm trying to teach people. I'm trying to get people to see what's actually really happening in front of my face. Like, sometimes I'm even surprised myself. I get what's going on a daily basis. I've been studying this for a long time now. Today is April Fool's. April Fool's 2026, you guys. And this is your April Fool's Day message. Because what I saw today, I cannot even put into words. I've even talked to people. Sometimes a person comes into my network, into my safe space, like they might even be hovering outside somebody's door listening in, blah, blah, blah. Then they're like, oh, my husband's a police officer. We actually live right near you. And my sister hikes the same woods that you do. These things are suspicious, to say the least. These commonalities, the common ground that we, to make us kind of get along with others, can also be suspect. It's just weird. Sometimes it's just really weird. So you might want to really just rethink who you want to, sleep with at night, who you want to spend your last days with. Think about it. No matter what, if the world blows up tomorrow, if the trafficking program becomes ginormous and we're all in some sort of concentration camp, it doesn't matter, because just our lives alone, living to be whatever age we live to be, and we die off, blah, 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 that's short enough. It doesn't matter if there's a program, if there's multiple things, wars and some kind of corrupt, government, military ops happening, do weapons, whatever. We only live a short life either way. So you might as well try to figure out what it is that you want and make your wrongs right, apologize, forgive, try to move forward. Stop being personality disorder. This world doesn't have enough room for that because, in the end, we're all human. We all make mistakes. We all behave badly at times, especially if you're thrown into this program and you're thrown into manipulating others or following others. That's just equally as bad. If you're monitoring others, stalking others, harassment, blah, blah, blah. We're all kind of back at the same spot, no matter how you look at this. You might want to carefully consider what you're doing here and the very short time you have until your end. That's a wrap. If you recently got divorced, you should be a little bit concerned.
Sorry, I started falling asleep. All right, that's a wrap. Thumbs up. Thank you if you like that. Subscribe to my channel. Share the message with others, and feel free to comment in the chat or send me a message letting me know what you would like me to go live on. If you would like to hear me speak about this regularly, I have several hundreds and hundreds of videos out there. Some of them are locked away in the vault for the time being. I have released some recently, and I would be more than willing to share those with you. But you will have to message me and let me know that you would like to hear a regular live stream. You'd like me to go live at a certain time every night. I would be willing to do that if I hear back from you. So we are going to call this a night. Please be safe out there. Please try to be kind. It's very difficult, you guys, even for the super empath, to distinguish between the hurting person out there, the person who is a targeted individual, versus the perpetrator. For the most part, you can figure that out. But sometimes it is very difficult. So it doesn't really matter if you are kind or you kill them with kindness, as long as you try to do the very best you can. However, if the perpetrator goes and messes with you and you need to step outside of your normal zone and send them a high quality message to show them that what they did is seriously wrong. Think about this. We have Satan running the show right now. So sometimes we have to try to teach people lessons. And we can try to do our very best to teach them. However, I think that karma, God, I kind of look at it as, God's power will teach them and show them in a way that they will hurt beyond measurable terms once they really realize what they are doing. Forgive those, for they know not what they do. Signing out. Good night. Stay safe. And best of luck for the upcoming day tomorrow.